What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color and to another episode of This Week in Physical Media, where we talk about every new Blu-ray and 4K that's coming out this week, which just so happens to be the week of October 15th. All of these will be coming out tomorrow, Blues Day, Tuesday, October 15th. We shoot this show live every Monday night, Eastern Standard Time at 9 p.m., so feel free to come out and join us if you want to talk about movies, talk about collecting, take a look at all of the new things that are coming out this week. We always have a good time talking, and I always have a good crowd here with great questions and great commentary and great insight into all these movies that are coming out. So join us if you'd like to. And we should have a good bit of time to do some Q&A tonight. It's a lighter week. We got some really cool stuff coming out from studios and boutique labels. Everyone's putting out stuff, but it is a lighter week, so we should have some more time afterwards to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, what you've been watching, what you've been buying lately. I'll talk a little bit about what I've been watching this month for Spooktober, which has been really fun so far, trying to get as many knocked out as I can. So yeah, go ahead and throw your comments, questions in the live chat, and we'll have a good night of conversation, go for about an hour and a half like we usually do, and then wrap this thing up. All right, let's see who is in the chat already. Dan's Den, first name I saw there in the chat, says howdy, as he is wont to do. Posty says yo. Let's see how many different greetings we can get. Internet user says hello, y'all. Gus just shouts my name very loudly. That's it, DJ. Thank you, Gus, for bringing the heat. Baloney is here. Says hello, all. I got my coffee, got my munchies. Now for Films by Color to learn a bunchies. That's great. We have a catchphrase. Can I put that on a T-shirt, Baloney? Do you mind? CG is here. Jeffrey's here. Says greetings. Eli is here. What's up, everyone? What's up, Eli? Welcome to the stream. Also, Michael Smith just popped in. It is indeed. All right. Speaking of that, let's just jump right into it and see what is coming out this week. Lots of big ones this week, especially for my horror fans out there. And Criterion's putting out some heavy hitters this month, too. All right. Obviously, the big one, everyone's been talking about it. It's all over the YouTubes. Nightmare on Elm Street is getting a 4K release. Finally, scream the people that have been waiting for this for a long, long time. This is a big one in the horror community. And here it is. It's in multiple versions. The first one, most anticipated, according to Blu-ray.com, is this lovely-looking steelbook version right here. There it is. That's the... Whoa, I love this kind of... I didn't even take a look at this ahead of time. I looked at the standard version, but I haven't seen the steelbook. It's kind of like this retro VHS case, which is really cool. I love when they do stuff like that. So you got him coming out of the VHS tape case. And there's the inside. Right there. That is the steelbook version. That's going to be a 4K and a digital 4K with two different cuts of the film. Two different cuts. Pretty cool. And then if you are not a steelbook fan, not a big fan of those metal boxes that get damaged really easily. So they say. I've never had one get super damaged, but actually, I take that back. My Psycho kind of came pretty damaged. But yeah, that is the steelbook. If you just want a standard, if you're a slipcover fan, there you go. There's the slipcover. Nice red spine on that. Lots of red everywhere. Red took over the whole thumbnail for tonight's show with all this red they got going on in this slipcover for Nightmare on Elm Street. But that's what that looks like. So you got your options. I'm sure there's a Blu-ray as well if you're still not upgraded to the 4K and you happen to not have that one on Blu-ray yet. I'm sure there's a Blu-ray re-release somewhere down here on the list. But those are the two big 4K versions of Nightmare on Elm Street that are coming out. And all the horror fans rejoice. Very, very happy that has finally come out. So let me know how many of you have been waiting for that one. Then we've also got, look at this, 88 Films at the top of the list. Very surprising. 88 Films is a great boutique label. No shade against 88 Films, but we don't hear about them this high on the list that often. And they are topping the list with this beautiful looking box set. I've actually never purchased an 88 Films film yet, so I don't know what their packaging is like at all, but this looks like a pretty solid box set. I don't know if it's a hard box or just kind of a cardboard slipcase, but it looks pretty nice. This is the Project A collection, which has 4 films in it. Look at that. You got some art cards, just standard boutique stuff. Looks like maybe some reversible artwork in there. Looks like 2 posters. So kind of the Arrow Video treatment. Very similar to Arrow Video, it looks like. It looks like it's only 2 movies, though. I don't know why there's so many discs, but it looks like 2 films, 4 cuts. Oh, okay, that's what it is. So there's I guess, two different cuts of both films have two different cuts. So that is the deluxe limited edition 4K and Blu-ray for the Project A collection. Project A and Project A Part 2. Very cool. Like I said, I am not caught up on my 88 films, but they put out a ton of, martial arts films, and there's some Jackie Chan. There's a Jackie Chan twosome right there, and it looks like it's great. I don't know what it is. Is it a pirate film? Let me actually read the synopsis, because I'm actually intrigued by this. No synopsis for the Project A Collection 4K. Well, I'm assuming it's a pirate film, because he's on a pirate wheel, and he's got a telescope, and then there's a pirate ship in this one shot. So that sounds cool. I love Jackie Chan, and I would love to see him fight some pirates. Next up, we've got To Catch a Thief getting a 4K. Somebody just said something in chat that I'll get to in a second that made me laugh. How unprofessional of me. I shouldn't be looking over there. I'll talk to you guys in a second. I got one more to get through here. This is To Catch a Thief 4K and digital combo pack. This is a Paramount Presents. Very, very nice releases Paramount's putting out over there. Boutique level releases from a studio. You love to see it. We actually started collecting our first Paramount Presents 4Ks recently, Grace and I, in our most recent Blu-ray hunting video, which will be edited and up tomorrow on the channel, so stay tuned for that. We actually found some Paramount Presents in the wild. In the wild. I won't spoil what store we went to yet, but it was crazy. We had to snatch them. We'd never seen those in the wild before. So this is the 4K of To Catch a Thief, which I have not seen. Grace actually has seen. I was sitting on the couch with her while she watched this, but I was not paying attention. I couldn't get into it. Alfred Hitchcock is hit or miss with me. Sometimes they're a little disposable for me. But, I mean, Rear Window, Psycho, the big ones I really like. Rebecca. We actually just watched Rebecca this weekend. It's sitting right here on my desk. Boom! That is a great, great movie. I know it's not really, it's his first Hollywood movie. It doesn't really feel like a Hitchcock movie, but it's a really, really solid movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's in the Criterion Collection. Finally checked that one off the list. Grace picked it because she does not want to watch spooky movies with me. So I watched Rebecca with her, and it was great. It was actually, it was really good. I quite enjoyed it. But this is not Rebecca. This is To Catch a Thief, with the Paramount Presents packaging with the openable slipcover that has the original poster right there on the front with Cary Grant and Grace Kelly. Look at that. Speaking of Rear Window, look at that right there, Grace Kelly. Solid looking release. I'm sure the transfer is great. I've liked the 4Ks I've got from them so far. So that is coming out. That's a very exciting one. I had to put that one in the thumbnail because a lot of people will be excited about that one as well. But anyway, we've been rambling for a little bit. We went through 3 big titles right there. So let's talk to you guys in the chat, see what you guys are thinking. Patrick Williams says, Arrow Video and Jason Goes to Hell, just saying. He's just saying. That's all he's saying. Bill Maloney says, with lots of enthusiasm, you can use it as a catchphrase. Yeah, well, if I ever get a TV, no. If I ever get a T-shirt line going up, I'll have to credit Baloney there. Kevin House popped in while I was rambling. Eli, how big is your collection? I'm at 4,366 4Ks. Oh, I didn't even know there was that many 4Ks. Wow. Excuse me. Let me finish the sentence like a dingbat. 4Ks, Blu-rays, and DVDs. So he's at 4,000. I'm not that high. Good Lord. That's crazy. And an additional 600 plus VHSs. I don't know what my collection. I think it's around 2,000, maybe. I need to look at my app. I have a database app, but I don't ever look at the overall number, but it's like 2,024. I don't know. Not that. I don't have 4,000. You are killing it, my friend. What else are people saying here? Posty, Project A Part 2 wasn't called Project B? No, it doesn't look like it. Missed opportunity there. Dan's Den says To Catch a Thief, a great movie star movie. Internet user, the first time I went to a movie theater was for one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I have no idea how old I was. Ooh. Well, it makes sense that you would that memory would stick with you. Michael Smith, there's so many things coming out in November that I want about $700 worth. Dude, speaking to the choir, man, because I feel the exact same way, especially box sets. There's so many box sets coming out at the end of this year that I want that I've kind of chilled out, and I haven't really been buying anything lately, and I'm probably going to have to go light on Criterion this November because there is so much, like you said, so much stuff coming out that I want to watch. Kevin House, really glad you liked Rebecca. Like so many films, it's especially good the first time you see it. Yeah, I don't know how well it'll hold up afterwards on repeat, but I quite enjoyed it the first time. Adam Not Cheese Reed, Hamilton Books drop just happened. scooped up some things. Ooh, I might have to take a gander over there right after this stream is over. That's pretty cool. I have always heard about them dropping some good sales over there. Next thing up is Land of the Dead 4K getting a 4K release from Shout Factory from 2005. Land of the Dead. I have not even heard of this movie, but I can guess what it's about. Looks like a zombie movie. Very, very zombie-looking zombie movie. Oh, it's a Romero movie. Wow. Interesting. Land of the Dead from Shout Factory. They're always putting stuff out. They're always dropping little, like, stealth drops here and there. Like, I don't even hear, like, I usually get across my feed, like, all the big announcements. Like, Imprint just announced all of their January 2025 releases. All the big boutique releases are usually announced, and they're posted all over my feed and stuff. But this, I never hear what Shout Factory's doing. Shout Factory's always just dropping stuff, just consistently dropping stuff. Them and Kino, both of them we'll hear about tonight because they're always dropping stuff. So 2 cuts of that film from 2005 getting a 4K release. Everything's getting 4K. That's, like, I feel like the last couple weeks, everything we've been talking about is 4K, with the exception of some Warner Archive Blu-rays here and there. Speaking of 4K and speaking of Kino, we've got 2 big ones coming out. Well, one big one, and then I don't know what in the world the other one, I don't know why the other one's getting released. This is Brick getting a 4K Blu-ray combo pack from Kino Lorber, another 2005 film. Look at that, 2 in a row. This is the slipcover on that. I've not seen Brick. I've known for a long time that this was Rian Johnson's first movie. I think before Looper. Was it right before Looper? Or did he do something in between there? But yeah, I've always heard of Brick. But I didn't know it was a detective movie. That makes sense because he keeps going back to that. That's his thing. So I've always heard, I mean, I've heard from some people that it's like their favorite Rian Johnson movie, still to this day. I really, really like Knives Out. I still haven't seen Looper. I have it back there on the shelf, I think. Grace keeps mentioning we should watch Looper. Maybe I should finally give that a watch. But anyway, Brick is getting a 4K from Kino Lorber. And then we've also got Cowboys and Aliens? Sure, why not? Kino Lorber can put out whatever they want to put out. And this is Cowboys and Aliens, which I have never heard a good thing about. But who knows? Maybe it needs a reappraisal. Comic book film directed by Jon Favreau. What year was this? 2011. So just the year after he did Iron Man 2, he goes over and does another comic book movie called Cowboys and Aliens. Wow, who's in this? This is, what's her name? Olivia Wilde? Yeah, Olivia Wilde, Harrison Ford, and Daniel Craig. Wow. What an odd movie. This is a real moment in time here. That's what the cover looks like if you want to see it. Cowboys and Aliens. Let me know if maybe I never saw it. Clearly, you can tell I never went back and watched that one. We've also got Thanksgiving get a 4K release from Sony Pictures. This is a Blu-ray 4K and digital combo pack. This is that big horror film from last year, I believe. Who directed this again? I always want to say Tim Roth. It's not Tim Roth. It's Eli Roth directing Thanksgiving. I think I actually heard good things about this one. Not just because it was a holiday film, although that was cool to get like another staple holiday horror film that you could watch each year. But it sounds like he kind of nailed it too. Well, I mean, I've heard mixed things, but from a lot of people, I heard it was a lot of fun. So hopefully that's true. And hopefully people are very excited about that. The list price is outrageous. Egregious. Look at that. $56 for a Thanksgiving 4K Steelbook. Hopefully that drops down. I think it usually does. I don't know why they put these outrageous prices on there, only to drop them down before they get released. Especially when they honor like pre-orders and you get like the price that it comes out at. I don't know what that marketing strategy is, but it says it's $56. I'm sure it'll come down before it comes out tomorrow. Hopefully. And then we've also got The Ring getting a 4K release. Lots of horror movies. You can tell the theme. We're in the middle of October. All these studios are lining up their horror releases, their horror 4K upgrades. And this is The Ring right there. That's a classic. Huge classic horror film. Just the first one. But it's a 4K Blu-ray digital combo pack. You know, pretty nice slipcover on that. Just your standard 4K. And everybody knows what The Ring is. I don't need to describe what that is, but that's 2002. So a lot of early 2000s and a lot of horror movies seem to be what's coming out this week. That seems to be the theme. Let's see what my subscribers are saying over here in the chat this evening. Thanks, everybody, for joining me this evening. What else are people saying? Eli says, did you get the Rumpelstiltskin box set? I did not get the Rumpelstiltskin box. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that franchise is, but I did see it. Like I said, everything comes through my feed, and it was beautiful. It's a really nice box set. I don't know if those films are any good, but it was a really, really, I don't know what else to say. It was a beautiful box set. Michael Smith says, I went to see The Substance, had an anxiety attack in the third act, and had to leave. Oh, well, sorry about that. Yeah, the marketing for that has been a little deceptive. That's what we noticed. My wife does not do blood, and there's no blood in the trailer. They make sure not to have any blood in the trailer. But so yeah, she literally passed out in that movie, fainted in the right in there in the theater, and then she had to, when she finally came to, she had to watch like the rest of the movie with her eyes closed and just listen to it, which still, even listening to it is kind of tough for her. But I kept telling her that we need to leave, and she was like, no, I'm going to make it through it. So it was a fun experience. She actually passed out in the theater, but we had a really great time talking about that movie, and I had a great time. That was a really fun watch. Very interesting experience. 123 Rock fan, I just watched Bucket of Blood. It was a pretty hilarious satire on artists. I've never heard of that. That sounds cool. Dan's Den, Land of the Dead, not bad. Very Bush era coded. Interesting. Bailey Walsh says hi. She just popped in the chat. Internet user Looper came out 7 years after Brick. Wow. Okay. I didn't realize those are so far apart. Dan's Den says Cowboy and Aliens. Remember that coming out? It was pretty underwhelming. I remember it coming out, but I didn't see it. And I heard nothing about it except for like mediocre things. Michael Smith, you definitely should watch Looper, time travel film that makes you think. And Kevin House says, I really enjoyed Brick. They really tried to do something different and succeeded. Ethan Everett says, I'm no snob. I can appreciate a fun bad movie, but Cowboys and Aliens is just boring. Yeah, that's the worst kind of bad movie. It's just the boring ones. But I don't know. Maybe some people found it interesting. I haven't heard of any Cowboy and Alien apologists yet, though. 123 Rock fan, I guess the movie hinges on whether you like the dialogue. I thought it was insufferable. I don't know what movie he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about Cowboys and Aliens. Oh, never mind. He says talking about Brick. Oh, he did not like Brick. Interesting. Internet user says, speaking of Kino Lorber, it looks like their 4K of Lost in Translation was canceled. Oh, that's a bummer. How'd you find out about that? Posty says, my wife and I saw The Substance and liked it. We came home and she put the Young Girls Rochefort on as a palate cleanser. That's amazing. That's the best double feature I've ever heard of. You win the evening. What else is coming out this week? Pandora's Box, big one. This is way too far down the list. I should have grabbed my Pandora's Box off the shelf back there. I've got the 4K, or actually it's not a 4K. I think it's just a Blu-ray. I got the box set that Eureka put out earlier this year. I think the end of last year, actually. Very, very nice box set. But now Criterion is putting out a Blu-ray of it right here. I don't think there'll ever be a 4K of this. I think it's, I don't know. Is there a 4K of this? I don't think there will be. I think it's I don't know if it's recoverable. But they are putting out a Blu-ray for Pandora's Box. And I didn't know this. It says Digipack right here, Criterion Digipack. Now, I was back when this was announced and I did the news video about it, I was wondering if they were going to bring back the Digipack because the original DVD was in a Digipack. But normally when they do that, it's because they already have the packaging made and they can just reuse it. This is going to have to be shorter for the Blu-ray, so it looks like they are going ahead and making the Digipack on that. According to this, I don't know. Don't take my word for it. Blu-ray says it's a Digipack, so hopefully it is. That's very cool. There's the cover art. I think it's the same as the original DVD Digipack. And this is a 1929 Pabst film, which is way ahead of its time. I watched this earlier this year. I think the beginning of the year, actually. Kind of blew me away. One of the best silent films I've ever seen. It's like surprisingly modern view on sex and relationships and all that kind of stuff, manipulation and everything. Very, very cool movie. Highly recommend you check it out. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and pick it up in November. You won't be disappointed. And that's coming out tomorrow already. So it'll be perfect just in time for the November sale. And also coming from Criterion, perfect for October, is Demon Pond. Demon Pond is a Japanese, I was very excited about this when it was announced a couple months ago. We talked about it on the news video, like I just said. I'm going to read the description. Outside a small village in Japan, a mysterious pond is inhabited by mythic creatures. Their story is of revenge, tragedy, and the power of real love, a classical tale which translates wonderfully to film. This is amazing. This sounds... I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to check it out. I think it's going to be on the Criterion channel soon, so maybe I'll watch it there, and then definitely be picking this one up in November. It's a bummer that I'm going to get it after October because it seems like it kind of might have that spooky Japanese kind of monster film. Not like Japanese kaiju film, but like similar to like the Yokai Monster series, or kind of have the same flavor as Ballad of Narayama with all of the like stagey kind of set pieces and stuff. I'm excited. The trailer for this got me really hyped, and I love me a good kind of fantasy it says fantasy romance. So it sounds good. It sounds right up my alley, and I can't wait for Demon Pond to come out. That's going to be, like I said, a solid November pickup for me. I don't know if I'm going to get Pandora's Box yet. Like I said, I already have the Blu-ray from Eureka, but Demon Pond is awesome and sounds really cool. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say it is awesome, but it sounds awesome. Also, let's jump back to The Ring real quick. I should have mentioned this earlier, but it's also getting a steelbook version with simpler artwork. The steelbook is, interesting. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's got a simple slipcover over the top with like the black blood dripping down, and it's got a clear translucent slipcover. You pull that off, and there is some different artwork underneath. That's actually a pretty cool steelbook. Is this from Lionsgate? No, this is Paramount. So Paramount's also jumping on the slip-covered steelbook train. They do that. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. Lionsgate's a little bit more consistent with that, but that's a pretty solid slip-covered steelbook from Paramount if you are interested in The Ring and you want to get a nice 4K version of that. So that's pretty cool. I like to see all these studios like Paramount with their Paramount Presents line and their standard stuff, Universal, Sony, all these studios putting out good stuff. They're keeping up with the boutique labels these days, which is a lot of fun. You love to see it. What else are people saying? Daniel Banks, what's your favorite horror movie? Ooh, what a great question. I think I have to stay with Psycho right now. I just changed my top 4 on my Letterboxd to spooky movies because I usually change the theme each month for my top 4. I have Psycho at the top right now. That's just an all-time classic for me. I love it. It's my favorite Hitchcock. Maybe not his best, but it's my personal favorite. Also, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Another one of my favorites. Absolutely love that one. And if you're going for more like, well, I was going to say more classic. It doesn't get more classic than Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That's super, super classic. But if you want like a sound film that's like more fun and like more fun monster movie, then I got to go with The Invisible Man. That's my favorite Universal Monsters movie. Love The Invisible Man. Love H.G. Wells, and I think that was just such a fun adaptation, and the comedy was great. But I've been watching some really cool stuff this month that I think will probably make my list. I've been watching some really good stuff this month. But yeah, I usually go with Psycho and Cabinet of Dr. Caligari or Nosferatu. Both of those, you can't go wrong. Awesome. What else? 123 Rock Fan. It's funny, DJ, I watched Bucket of Blood because it was on your watch list, LOL. Oh, I didn't even know that. I put so much stuff on my watch list. I think there's like 700 movies on there. So I can't even keep up with what's on my watch list. Dan's Den, The Substance is definitely a comedy. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's awkward laughter throughout the whole theater because people just don't even know what to do. I was just constantly looking around at people like unable to believe what I was seeing on screen. Nobody would look at me. Everyone was, I wish I had seen it with the full theater. It was only like a few couples in there. So I would love to see it again with a packed house. Internet user, I'm planning on checking out Demon Pond tomorrow. Ooh, let me know how it is. Leave me a comment because I'm very excited to check that one out. Griff says, evening. Not sure if you hit on it, but the Criterion flash sale might be tomorrow. I did not hit on that. Why do I forget every single year? It's always the same time. It's always October, but like I'm already thinking about the November Barnes & Noble sale, and I'm in the midst of watching spooky movies, so I completely forget that there's always an October sale. So maybe I can get Demon Pond in that. That would be perfect. That would be a perfect fit. I think last year in October, I got the Freaks box set from Robert Browning. That was a perfect October pick. So yeah, I might have to do that. Thank you for that heads up, Griff. Hopefully that's true, or hopefully it is in the next few days anyway. Kevin says, I spent good amount of money on the OOP Pandora's Box DVD a few years ago. I remember kicking myself for not buying it during a Barnes & Noble sale before it went out of print. Absolutely, man. I feel you. I do that. I've done that so many times. I always, like, what's the 4K that just got a Kino Lorber release from Alain Resnais? God, what is it called? Last year at Marion Bad. I just bought the out of print. I didn't pay that much for this one though, but I just bought the out of print Blu-ray for that. But now it's got a 4K from Kino Lorber if you just want to get it through them. Also, same thing happened with The Man Who Fell to Earth. Paid a lot of money for that Blu-ray that was out of print from Criterion, and then they just released a 4K Steelbook through Lionsgate. So you never know. It's always a gamble. Michael Smith, DJ, I have Psycho as Hitch's best, but it's not my fave. LOL. Oh, well, look at that. Well, tomato. 123 Rock Fan, I love The Old Dark House. Great mix of horror and comedy. Yes! Are you talking about the one? Yes, I think I know which one you're talking about. I think I watched that last year in our pre-code horror October theme that we did last month. That was a really fun movie. That is the one with Boris Karloff as like this weird kind of Frankenstein ripoff. He's just like this that they keep in the in the basement. That's a fun one. That was a fun one. That was towards the top of the list of stuff we watched last year. We watched a bunch of pre-code horror films last year. Posty, if there's a Criterion flash sale, I'm picking up The Seventh Victim. That's another one that would be perfect to pick up in October. That's a double feature. Thank you for the correction there. Todd Browning. Robert Browning's somebody else. I don't know who I was talking about, but yeah, Todd Browning. Bailey Walsh. Usually Criterion emails charter subscribers, channel subscribers, with the coupon code a week ahead of the flash sales, and I haven't received anything. Okay, so maybe we still got some time to save up some money for that. Hopefully. All right, what else is coming out this week? We've got a Prairie Home Companion. This is what everyone's talking about this week. 2006 musical comedy drama. What is this? This is from Warner Archive. Warner Archive is always putting out stuff. This is, Woody Harrelson, Tommy Lee Jones, Kevin Kline, Lindsay Lohan. What the world is this? It's like a Western comedy film. I got to read the synopsis on this. A look at what goes on backstage during the last broadcast of America's most celebrated radio show, where singing cowboys Dusty and Lefty, a country music siren, and a host of others hold court. It's a Robert Altman film? I swear, Robert Altman has made 7,000 movies. At one point, I was like trying to collect Robert Altman's films, but Criterion has a bunch of them. Radiance now has quite a few of them. There's a bunch of them from old Arrow Academy releases that's now out of business. His films are just spread out all over the place. And here's one from Warner Archive Collection. If you're going to collect all of Robert Altman's films, that is quite the task, because he made a ton of stuff. I haven't even heard of that one, and it's 2006. That's late. Wow, crazy. You learned something new. American Movie is getting a 4K release. This is a documentary. This is coming out from Sony Pictures. I just saw this come through. A friend of mine just watched this the other day. Said it was really, really good. This is supposed to be a great documentary. It's about a Wisconsin man named Mark Borchardt and his attempts to direct a low-budget horror film called Coven. There you go. Terrific, funny, inspiring, 2 very big thumbs up. That's from Roger Ebert, the man himself. So that's fun. If you like movies about movies, or movies about making movies, especially documentaries about making movies, that sounds great. 1999, big documentary. You know it's got to be a big deal if it's getting a 4K release. Documentaries don't usually get 4K re-releases, so that's pretty cool. This looks fascinating. I don't know what this is. This is from Undercrank Productions, which I don't know if we've ever talked about on the show, but Undercrank is putting out The Bat on Blu-ray, which, look at this cover. I like this poster quite a bit. Look at that classic looking poster, but I have no idea what this is. So I'm going to check it out. This is from 1926, Roland West's The Bat from 1926. So this is a silent film, it looks like. The Bat, a master criminal terrorizing the city wearing a fearsome bat costume, sets his sinister sights on the eerie Fleming mansion. Within the walls of this spooky house, a bank robber has stashed $20,000 in stolen loot. Wow, I don't want to read it anymore because it looks like it's giving away the whole plot, but already this sounds amazing. Look at that mask. Look at that. This is incredible. It's like Batman if he were a serial killer. Or like, I guess he's not a serial killer, but he's just a criminal. Just a bad guy. I've been watching through the Todd Slaughter box set this month. I've only seen 2 so far, which was The Murder in the Red Barn and The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, Sweeney Todd, and he is amazing. He's such a deliciously evil, he's like hamming it up hardcore in these villain performances. So I'm kind of in the mood for this kind of thing. This is 1926, so you've still got that kind of stilted stage acting going into like silent acting, like big over the top. So hopefully this is a lot of fun. It looks like it has a new musical score by Ben Model. I actually like when they do updated musical scores to these silent films sometimes. One of my favorite silent films of all time is The Phantom Carriage, and that has an updated score that was made in 2006, I believe, and I actually really, really like that score. Same thing was done with The Passion of Joan of Arc. They did a score for that. Sometimes, for comedies, it's okay to kind of keep that classic music, but when they're doing like a drama, I really like updating the score. And maybe that's blasphemy for some people, but I love to watch this, The Bat. I don't know what this is. It's only $18. I might have to add it to my Amazon wish list. Roland West's The Bat. Didn't expect to talk about that for that long. And I just realized that I haven't been showing you the screen the whole time. So let me actually go back in there and give you a quick sneak peek at the poster. I got so carried away, I wasn't even flipping my screen over. Look at that. Doesn't that look fun? Roland West's The Bat. It's like a Batman logo. That's crazy. What else is coming out this week? Project A Blu-ray collection. Same thing, just a Blu-ray version. We've also got 9 Queens coming out from Sony Pictures, a 2000 crime thriller. 2 con artists try to swindle a stamp collector. Remember stamp collectors? Do those still exist? I guess I shouldn't make fun of collectors. I'm one of the worst ones. By selling him a sheet of counterfeit rare stamps. The 9 Queens. Wow, what are you picking on a lowly little stamp collector for? What a bunch of jerks. And then we've got The Demon coming out, which I think is an Italian film from Severin. There's the cover on that one. Il Demonio. Severin Films, always coming through, putting out some cool horror movies. This is kind of the perfect month for Severin to put out whatever they want to. We've also got Demon Pawn getting a Blu-ray release, and it looks like we're already to the end of this. Just a few more here. I'm gonna throw out 2 more Kino Lorbers. That's all I see. We've got Kino Lorber putting out Cross Creek Blu-ray, because we can't go a week without Kino Lorber dropping stuff. Like I said, they're dropping stuff all the time. There it is, Cross Creek, directed by Martin Ritt, which is a biopic, a romantic biopic about the 1930s. This is a 1983 film. Very cool. Cross Creek. And then also from Kino Lorber, we've got Garbo Talks, which is a Sidney Lumet film. The son of a woman dying of a brain tumor tries to fulfill his mother's last wish to meet Greta Garbo. Ah, what a sweet little movie. And it's a comedy. So like a dark comedy, dark sweet comedy. There it is. Garbo Talks. Sometimes you can catch a star. Spoiler alert. But that is coming out from Kino Lorber as well. Just 2 Blu-ray releases, no big 4Ks. Not a huge week. Like I said, we're just kind of breezing through. Not too much stuff coming out, but some heavy hitters, some big heavy hitters that a lot of people are excited about. All right, speaking of people being excited, let me know what you guys are most excited about this week. Let's talk about what's coming out. Dan's Den says one of Hitch's most underrated is The Wrong Man. I've heard that actually several times. I need to finally check that one out. That's one I haven't seen yet. Wiley OFC watching the commentary for Happy Death Day from the Shout Factory 4K release right now. Oh, well, what are you doing in here? What are you doing in my chat? Go watch the commentary. That sounds fun. Dan's Den, A Prairie Home Companion, the perfect last film for a great director. Feel like we already talked about this. Maybe so. I don't remember that one, but sometimes they get jumbled around and they come out once. And then the stuff gets moved around. But I don't think we've talked about that one yet on this show, at least. 123 Rock Fan, I think Hitch's Family Plot is severely underrated. I think I have that one in one of the 4K volumes back there that I need to finally get to. There's some of his newer stuff that I haven't seen yet. Baloney. And did everyone see that, like, there's an early Hitchcock box set that just got announced. I don't know if they're 4Ks, but there was a box set. I think it's from the UK that's coming out soon. I saw it come through my feed, but I didn't get a close look at it. Baloney, do you participate in forums and have any recommendations? I recommend Steve Hoffman music forums. I don't actually. I don't think I participate in forums. I'm on the Reddit sometime, looking at a couple different like groups that are about physical media there, but I don't know of any forums. So thank you for that recommendation, Steve Hoffman music forums. Posty, American Movie is the best comedy of the last 40 years. That's high praise. Wow. You couldn't write characters as great as Mike and Mark if you tried. Well, I definitely couldn't, but I assume you're meaning the proverbial you. That's amazing. Yeah, like I said, it has a really high Letterboxd rating, and that's crazy. You don't usually hear that about documentaries, so that's a lot of fun. Kevin House, The Bat was remade in 1959 with Vincent Price. Well, that makes perfect sense. He was pumping them out during the 50s and 60s. That's really cool. Yeah, I've never heard of The Bat. I mean, I've heard of The Bat, but I don't think it's that bad. Joshua LeBeer, I should have my 4K American Movie on Wednesday. I love that film so much. Also, when that when that dang Criterion sale hits, I think I could complete my Criterion documentary collection. Wow. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't think about that, but that might be a doable completion, because I don't know if they do that many documentaries. They do a lot. I mean, they have a bunch, but that's pretty cool that you have that many of them. Wow. Well, good luck. Good luck to you, sir. Hope the sale hits soon. And he says The Bat sounds so good. It really does. It sounds fascinating. I need to look more into that label. I've never heard of it before. Adam, have you taken a look at Frankie Frico? Pre-order just opened up. Looks like a fun one for sure. I have not. I haven't even heard of that. Let me actually look that up. Frankie Frico. What in the world is this? No, I have not. I'll have to bookmark this for later because I have not heard of that. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up there, Adam. Internet user Il Dominio is on my watch list for this month. Well, good. I hope you get to it. Let me know what you guys are watching this month. I'm in the mood for some spooky recs. Dan's Den: Cross Creek, a notoriously hard to find Oscar nominee for the longest time. Well, a good friend of mine, Connor, will be very excited about that because he is trying to collect every Oscar-nominated Best Feature film of all time, and he's making good progress, but it's going to take a long time. So, and some of them, like you said, aren't even available. So that's cool. That one's Kino Lorber. You can count on them to put out some obscure stuff and get to some stuff that other labels wouldn't even think about. Dan's Den: I've seen Garbo Talks. It's nicely tuned, but nobody's missing much. Oh, wow. He's laying into Garbo Talks for some reason. I'm just kidding. Carrie Witt: DJ, sorry I was late. Parent-coach high school hockey meetings. Hate it. Hate those parent-coach high school hockey meetings. I've never had to do that, but I do have a meeting actually with my son's teacher tomorrow. Not a bad one, just like their standard like progress check for first grade. So got to go in and talk to the teacher, see how he's doing tomorrow. So I kind of know what you mean. I don't know. You've been there this long? Like what time is it there? It's like 9:30 here, and you're just getting back from this parent-coach high school hockey meeting? Wow. Gus says, what are you picking up tomorrow for sure, DJ? What am I picking up tomorrow? What am I picking up tomorrow? I don't know if I'm picking... You mean like from this stuff? Or are you talking about if the Criterion sale happens? I don't know which one you're talking about, because that's a very different list. I don't know if I'm picking up... Like, there's kind of crossover. If the Criterion sale does happen, I will pick up Demon Bond. And I also will probably pick up the double feature that just came out last week. But I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying not to think about it because my wallet can't handle another sale. Ethan Edwards: I also love The Wrong Man. It reminds me of Bresson's Pickpocket. Very atypical for Hitchcock. Hitchcock. Wow. I need to drink of water. What am I saying? Jeffrey Patron: The Bat 1926 definitely caught my eye. Looks like an interesting silent. You know I love some silence. Jeffrey Patron also watching a lot of silent movies. He's been beefing up his list of silent films on Letterboxd lately. Also, I got to give a shout out to you, Jeffrey, for sending me He Who Gets Slapped. That's a silent film that I've only seen recently because you sent it to me. So thank you so much for that. CG: I like Vincent Price's version of The Bat. Oh, cool. So you've seen the 59 version. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I prefer the silent version, but I've seen a couple of those Vincent Price era 50s, 60s stuff, and I have a couple things on my watch list from this year that are kind of that same flavor, so I think I'd like that one too. Internet user: there's a 1972 Czechoslovak film on the Criterion channel called The Girl on the Broomstick. It sounds right up your alley. Writing that down right now. The Girl on the Broomstick. I don't know why I started singing that. Criterion. There it is. Boom. Pops right up. I actually have been that looks amazing. I'm in the mood for some Czech films, especially kind of like fantasy fairy tale stuff. I just recently watched for the first time The Virgin and the Monster, or you might know it as Beauty and the Beast. They changed the name to Beauty and the Beast when they released it in America. But yeah, The Virgin and the Monster is basically the Beauty and the Beast tale. He just changed the name because he was doing something different with it. But if you haven't seen this, highly recommend picking up this this film. And I actually finally learned how to say his name. It's Juraj Herz. He's an amazing Czech director. I mean, I've only seen one of his films. I am going to watch Marziana very soon, which he did a little bit earlier. This was 72, and then he did this one in 1978. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is the perfect blend of like homage to Cocteau's 46 version, but also doing its own thing and reinventing the beast. I've only seen 2 Czech fairy tale films so far. It's this and 3 Wishes for Cinderella, but both of them are so good at grounding. This is much more grounded than like the ethereal 46 Cocteau Beauty and the Beast, but they're so good at like making these grounded, like kind of realistic versions of the fairy tales and putting things in order and arranging things so that it actually makes sense, which is crazy because usually these fairy tales are just bananas and you just kind of have to go with it. But they actually make sense in this version, but also they don't shy away from the magic or anything. They just keep all the fantasy elements still there. But I don't know. It's hard to explain, but they do it in such a fun way. I've really been enjoying these. I think I liked this one even more than... I don't know. They're both great, both different directors. This guy, though, he made this for a children's film like distributor. And I was reading through the booklet in here. Great booklet. Great release from Second Run, if you like that. But he like somehow got it through the censors He had like a producer that was really good at sweet talking them, and he was like, don't worry, it's a fairy tale film. And then there was apparently children like running out, screaming, crying from the theater, and they like came after him and were so upset, and they were like, we asked for a fairy tale movie and you made a horror film. But it's both. It's absolutely both. And it's great. It's really, really cool. But just wait a little bit till you show it to your kids. Highly recommend it. Show them the Cocteau version first, and then show them the Hertz version, and then just don't watch any other versions. You don't need to watch the Disney version. But it's great. And that's one of the things I've been watching. Also watch The Pied Piper, which we can talk about a little bit later. Another amazing horror fairy tale film that goes way darker than the source material as well. What else are people talking about? I've been talking long enough. Let me see what people are saying. Carrie Witt, I just got alerted that my Howling 2 pre-order shipped from Vincent. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. I know that one gets like dumped on all the time, but I've heard a lot of people like that one, if that's your thing. It's apparently has its own audience. Internet user Criterion announcements for January 2025 should be tomorrow. Oh yeah, that's right. This is what's the date today? I guess it's because it's the 14th. So yeah, it should be tomorrow. Well, I don't know what we're going to do for that. John's out of town, so I won't be able to do like what we usually do for those Criterion months, but the news videos. Maybe I'll still do one and I'll just talk by myself. It depends on what it is. If there's something that I feel like I have to talk about, maybe I'll do that video. If not, maybe I'll just hold off and we'll do it next month, because John is at the Grand Canyon right now, actually. He's not even on this side. He's not even on this coast. He's way over there. So couldn't do it if I wanted to. 123 Rock fan. I've been watching a bunch of cheesy 50s horror movies. The Blob, The Fly, The Tingler. That's amazing. Carnival of Souls. Ooh, I don't know if I put Carnival of Souls in that list. I actually really like Carnival of Souls. It is super atmospheric. I love it. And then I watched Arachnophobia 1990 that was heavily influenced by them. Awesome. I've never seen The Blob, but I want to. I really like something that you should watch is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 50s version. It would fit perfect in that list. And it's amazing. And it just has a 4K release right now from Kino Lorber, which I really want to get. I saw it at the store, but it was just the Blu-ray version, so I didn't grab it. But yeah, definitely check that out. If you haven't seen it, maybe you already have. And you're just not watching it. Speaking of 50s cheesy movies, I've been watching through this set, the Cold War Creatures box set, produced by Sam Katzman. These are a mixed bag. I absolutely love this box set. The movies are hit or miss. I really, really like... Here, I'll tell you the good ones. Here. Creature with the Atom Brain. I think it's the first one and the fourth one. The first and last are really, really good. Creature with the Atom Brain is wonderful. It's about this guy, this ex-Nazi guy who is hiring this scientist and they're like stealing cadavers and bringing them back to life by putting this magic atomic stuff in their brains, and then they're controlling them with like a camera in their eyes, and they're like making them go around and do crime things. So that one's a lot of fun. There's like a detective and his partner who are trying to solve the case as it's happening. That one's actually really cool. And then the Giant Claw. You've probably heard of this one. This one's amazing. It's about this giant bird alien from another dimension who is just coming around and terrorizing things for no reason. I really like those two. These two are kind of mid. I'm not crazy about these two. Zombies of Moratau. Nothing atomic in it at all. I don't even know why it's in this Cold War box set, because it's just voodoo zombies, which are basically just normal schlubby warehouse guys from Detroit just walking around very slowly. There is a really cool underwater like ship set, because there's like a treasure that the zombies are guarding, so that's fun. And then also the werewolf was really cool, werewolf like special effects, but the story is kind of meh, not great. So these two, it's still fun in places, but they did not hold my attention as well as the other two, which I think these are the reason to get the box set. The Giant Claw and Creature with the Atom Brain are a ton of fun. And the other ones are fun too. I'm sure they'd be great if you watch them, with a friend, with a group of friends. They'd probably be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's what I've been watching lately. Also 50s stuff. Carrie Witt says, I really like Cat People. I haven't watched that one yet. I wanted to get that back in July so I could watch it in October, and I didn't find it. So unfortunately, I'll have to wait till next year for that one, probably. Oh, 123 Rock fan says, I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but it gives me so much anxiety. LOL. Yeah, that's a good one. That one freaked Grace out. It's really good. I don't know. It's solid. I like it quite a bit. Posty, I've watched some recent horror that I liked, Azrael and Infested. Don't watch Infested if you're arachnophobic, or do. Maybe you'll conquer your fear. Who knows? Is that recent one that was like all about like so many spiders? I think I saw that on VFX Artist React pretty recently. Maybe it's a different film, but yeah, I don't really have a problem with spiders. I don't know if I want to watch a whole movie about spiders attacking people, but I don't think it would give me any anxiety or anything. D that dog. Hello, Films by Color. We'll be picking up both Invasion of the Body Snatchers, both Kino Lorber movies. Yeah, I haven't seen the 80s one, and I've heard great things about it. I know a lot of people like that one even more than the first one, but awesome. I hope you find those. I think the Kino sale's still going on, so you should be able to get that for like $20. Ethan says 4K of Invasion is $18 right now from Kino. So man, that's incredible. It's an incredible deal. So go ahead and grab that if you have any money left over from the last sale that happened. I think Shocktober is still going on. So many sales. It's like a year-round thing at this point. Dan's Den. I wrote about the werewolf. Not a great film, but it's interesting to consider that the only way they'd make a werewolf film post Lon Chaney Jr. was with a sci-fi bent. Oh, cool. I'll have to read your write-up on that one. Are you on Letterboxd, Dan? I don't know if you are or not. And also, I will say, I might just need to give The Werewolf a second watch. I watched these both in the same night. This one, Creature from the with the Atom Brain, and then I went straight. I tried to do it. I tried to knock out both, but I was tired. And I was not able to pay attention as much as so I probably would like that a little bit better if I gave it another shot, which I probably will if I can get to it this month, because I shouldn't have tried to knock out two in one night. That was too ambitious of me. Although I did knock out 2 Todd Slaughter movies in the same day yesterday on Sunday. Although I watched one earlier in the day. And those are shorter, like 67 minutes, 68 minutes. So those are a lot of fun to knock out. Mars Base 1. I'm still waiting for Killer Clowns from Outer Space 2. Wow, you've been waiting a long time. That has a really nice release, or at least the first one. I hope you get your wish. I've never seen that. I like clowns and circus stuff, but I don't think that really fits into to my wheelhouse. Brett, hi. Anyone have any predictions for when the Criterion Flash sale will drop? Well, somebody already predicted earlier in the evening that it's going to be tomorrow. So, any other takers? Any other takers? I don't know. I have no idea. It seems like it's a total just whenever they feel like doing it. I don't know if they have any. Besides it being in October, I don't know if there's any other rules that they play by. Kevin House, DJ, I think you would love Val Lewton's Curse of the Cat People. It's a beautiful little film about a child's fantasy world. Don't let the ridiculous studio-imposed title worry you. Yeah, is that the one that they had to put Cat People in the title, but it has nothing to do with Cat People? It's not a sequel at all? I think Connor told me about that one. I should look into it. Thank you for the rec, Kevin. Carrie Witt, Shocktober is indeed still going on. At least my wallet tells me so. Ooh, I've stayed away from that completely because I said Criterion's coming up and like so many. I have so many things I want to buy towards the end of this year that I'm not even looking at the sales because I don't want to spend any more money. Although, like I said, I did purchase some stuff. Grace and I did another hunting video, so that one will be up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But after that, I'm cutting it off. Baloney, I ordered the Phantom Carriage based on your recommendation. I am absolutely sure I will enjoy this. I hope so. Ooh, that's the scary part about doing this is like people don't like what you recommend, they'll come after you. Hopefully you enjoy it. I think it's awesome. It's like one of my favorite silent movies. If you like silent films, and if you like It's a Wonderful Life, it's very similar to that. Phantom Carriage is awesome. Watch it around New Year's. Perfect. It's a New Year's movie. It takes place on New Year's Eve. So yeah, check it out. Hopefully you get it soon. Dan's Den, I am on Letterboxd. Yes, I didn't write a review there, but I wrote a script for a video that I'm planning later. Oh, okay. Well, shoot me a link. Internet user, can't believe John chose the beauty of the Grand Canyon over Doctober. He's been doing Doctober. Like I said, he was the one earlier that watched American Movie as part of his Doctober. He's the only person in the world not watching spooky movies this month, but he's loving it. He's been watching a lot of documentaries and knocking him off his list. He's not a big spooky movie guy either. 123 Rock fan. I also adore The Incredible Shrinking Man. The story still holds up really well. That's one I still haven't watched. I need to watch that. I need to finally get to that. I'm in a sci-fi mood right now, so that would be perfect. Especially 50s stuff. Griff, it was October 15th last year, but yeah, it could be another day. Soon, I'm sure. And then Bailey Walsh says flash sales are usually on a Tuesday. Okay. So we got a lot of pieces here that we could probably put together a pretty good guess. Marshall, hey, Marshall Graham, thanks for the suggestions, Dan and Kevin. I'll try to hunt down Body Snatchers. I admit horror is generally not my thing, but I'm trying to give older classic horror an honest try. Hey, well, I hope you find something you really love. That's really cool that you're branching out. and trying to broaden your horizon a little bit. That's a lot of fun. I did the same several years ago, and I actually have been having a great time watching some really cool stuff from back in the day. Carrie Witt, you'd think Criterion would wait till the other sales, Shocktober and Kino Lorber, ended theirs. I don't think so. These labels don't seem to pretend like the other ones even exist. Like, I feel like all the sales are always going on at the exact same time. So I don't know. Maybe it's like a competition. Maybe they're trying to compete with each other. And I don't know. I guess they don't want to wait till everyone spends all their money on Shocktober and Kino Lorber, and then there's nothing left to spend on Criterion. Although they gotta kind of be. It's weird to me that they do it in October, knowing that the Barnes & Noble one is in November. You would think they want to space that out a little bit. I don't know who started it first. I haven't been collecting that long, so I don't know if the October sale, if the flash sales were first and been going back longer, or if the Barnes & Noble sales have been going longer. Longtime Criterion fans, let me know which one came first. Christopher is here in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I wish any label, would do a Dark City 1998 release. That is my holy grail of an announcement if it ever happens. Dude, I agree with that. I would love to watch that. I've never seen Dark City, but I believe it's Alex Proyas. Am I right about that? Because I just recently watched his debut feature, which I'm never going to remember the name of it because it's, what is the name of that? Let me go to his IMDb here. Dark City, Alex Proyas. Yes, I was correct about that. And his first feature is called, I got to go way back in the list here. Gosh, he has made some stinkers lately. He kind of fell off. Wow. Gosh, I hate IMDb's UI. It is really hard to find anything. I should have went to Letterboxd. Spirits of the Air, Gremlins of the Clouds is his debut feature, and it's this really, really cool little scrappy independent movie that takes place out in the middle of the outback, like in the desert, in this little shack that they built, and it's awesome. It's so cool. It's like this really surreal, like Dali-esque looking painting, basically, for the whole movie. Every like so many screenshots you could take would just look like awesome paintings. I quite enjoyed it, and I haven't gone on with the rest of his films, but I think he did, his first three are like really beloved. He did that, then he did The Crow, and then he did Dark City. So I'd like to at least knock out those three. It seems like he didn't really make anything worth watching after that. I don't know, maybe he did, but it seems like he made like a lot of things like Knowing, Gods of Egypt, I, Robot, I think more people like. But yeah, I feel like his career fell off after that, but I really liked his debut feature. It doesn't seem like anything else he did. It's not like the dark Blade Runner-esque, like noirish, neo-noirish looking stuff that he did after that. But I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Very colorful, very interesting, very bizarre. Kevin says, actually, Curse of the Cat People does include some of the main characters from Cat People, but it's a very different kind of film. Okay, so it is tangentially related, but maybe not. Maybe not very close. Like, that's what I was thinking. 123 Rock Fan, them. The one about killer ants doesn't hold up very well, in my opinion. Oh, I disagree. I love them. That's one of my favorites. It's back there. I have a box set that includes them. It's so fun. I watched it for the first time. I have a weird memory of that. I watched it for the first time on vacation at the beach with my wife's family while my daughter was napping. I had to like hold, she wasn't going down for some reason, and I had to like hold her to get her to take a nap, and I watched the entire movie of them while she was napping. It was great. It's so fun. I think it's awesome. Magnitude Rev, hey DJ, just popping in. Did you receive my gift at all this past week? Yes, sir, I did. I did receive your gift, and I think I already put it on the shelf. I did. But thank you so much. Man, I wish I had it ready. Where is it? I think I was actually rearranging everything. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I rearranged the shelves again because we got some new stuff. Like, I had to put all the stuff that I got from LA onto the shelf, and I already was putting things on the shelf. So I think it's down here in the black section somewhere. But thank you so much, Magnitude Rev. I will do a short thank you video sometime this week. I was planning on doing that. But yeah, Magnitude Rev sent me an item from my Amazon wish list, which is in the description of all these videos. So thank you so much, Magnitude. He sent me good grief. I want to make sure I get the title right, but it is an Audrey Hepburn film starring, is it Cary Grant? Look at me. I'm really trying to make sure I get this right. Audrey Hepburn. There it is, Roman Holiday. So that's what it's called. It's not Cary Grant. What was I talking about? But it's directed by William Wyler. So he sent me the Roman Holiday 4K, which is pretty recent. It's a very recent film, but it's Audrey Hepburn, and Gregory Peck. And this is one of my wife's favorite movies. So I'm very glad that you sent this. She loves Audrey Hepburn. She showed me Breakfast at Tiffany's, and she showed me My Fair Lady. Those are the two that she has shown me. And My Fair Lady is one of the probably the best 4K transfer I've ever seen. It looks amazing, and I hope Roman Holiday looks just as good. But we will definitely watch that soon. Probably not this month because we're watching spooky movies, but Grace has been wanting me to get that for a while. There's a World Cinema Library Blu-ray edition that I was like on the fence about getting, but then I didn't do it because there was a 4K that came out. So thank you so much, Rev, for sending that my way. Grace was very excited when I opened it up. We had no idea what it was. I think you gave me a hint on the last live show, but I completely had forgotten about that, and we got a package in the mail. And I was like, I did not order anything. I don't know what this is. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise in the middle of the week. So thanks so much for that. Roman Holiday from 1953, 4K. Very, very cool. And the slipcover was in perfect condition, which is not always a guarantee from Amazon. Sometimes they destroy them in shipping. So thanks so much for that, Rev. Really, really appreciate it. Hopefully we can get to that, relatively soon. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. October movies, and then we're trying to do Noirvember next month, and then we've got Christmas movies after that. So hopefully we can squeeze it in. But it's a busy end of the year holiday season. Side-scrolling Hero 16. I will plan my dinner party movies around your recommendations from now on. No, please don't. Please don't do that. I don't want to be the guy that gets blamed. West Parker, At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul, 1964 is a cool movie to own on a Blu-ray or DVD. Cool movie for October. It sounds like an amazing title. At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul, 1964. Let me type that one in too, because I'm just looking up everything tonight. At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul is mine. I just think of Mortal Kombat every time I hear that. Wow, what a crazy looking cover. Is this from that box set that just came out from Arrow? This looks like one of those, yeah, I think that is the same guy. Interesting. I didn't pick up that box set. It's Joe something. Man, I'm so out of the loop on horror movies, but I have not heard of that one. Thank you so much for the recommendation. Baloney, all the sales are win-win sales for us. I recommend everyone throw a blind buy into your orders. I definitely get blind buys in the Criterion sales, definitely. Dan's Den, and Gods of Egypt is amazing. I mean that somewhat ironically, somewhat unironically. What? Wow, that's a hot take. That is a hot take for Gods of Egypt. Marshall, well, if you have any suggestions, I'm all ears. I've been slowly trying to build out my movie library since I cut myself from all streaming at the beginning of this year. Incredible. That's so cool. I would love to cut from all streaming, but my wife will not let me. Every month I try to cut out the streaming services that we do, but she needs her Hulu, she needs her Peacock, she watches some reality shows, and she watches TV, which is very different. We don't buy TV, we mostly buy movies. So she likes to keep some of her streaming services for TV. But we kind of just like cycle through, like if she's watching stuff on Max, we'll get Max for a month, then we'll switch back to Peacock or Hulu. Basically just jumping back and forth. I try to get rid of them as much as I can, but sometimes they're necessary for TV people, I guess. Posty, Dark City is the Ne Plus Ultra of studio meddling. Oh, interesting. Weird. I've always heard good things about that. I didn't know it was a kind of a mess. Carrie Witt, now I'm going to have to pull out Dark City for a watch this week. At least I do have a Blu-ray. Yeah, I think a lot of people love that one. Ethan says Them is a great sci-fi film. I totally agree. I think it's great. I quite enjoy it. 123 Rock fan, although I have to say the original theatrical poster for Them looks amazing. Everything is amazing about that movie. It's so good. See, that's kind of what I was hoping for from this box set, but they weren't as good as Them, but they were fun. Some of them were a lot of fun. They're much more, I mean, I guess Them is a B movie too, but these are even more B. Manju Rev says that Roman Holiday is a favorite of his. Yeah, I think in the little note that he gave me a note in there, which I think is still on my desk right here, because I always keep those notes that come in my Amazon packages. He said that it was one of his top 10 favorite movies of all time, which is like super high praise and got me even more excited about it. I was already looking forward to it because Grace likes it. But top 10, wow, that's amazing. That's actually really cool. Internet user, speaking of Audrey Hepburn, what do I have to do to get a 4K of Charade? Does it not have a 4K yet? I thought it did. I know that it has a Criterion, obviously. So I don't think maybe they could do an upgrade. But I thought they did a Paramount Presents of it. I guess they didn't. Oh, man, that's a bummer. But I know there's lots of Blu-ray versions of it. I thought it had a 4K. Look at me. Maybe Criterion will do an upgrade. Who knows? I don't know if that's one of their top sellers or not. Kevin House says, check out Audrey Hepburn in Sabrina, another of my favorites. I have seen Sabrina. That was one that Grace showed me when we were dating because she is, like I said, a huge Audrey Hepburn fan. And I think she loves both versions of Sabrina. I think she showed me both. There's like a 90s version with Harrison Ford where he wears like this weird clown tie, which I did not love, but she loves it. Ethan, I had a package from Prime Day with 5 movies. 3 of the 5 had loose discs. Oh, gosh. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. It sucks that Amazon is basically one of our only options these days because they are the worst with shipping stuff. Magnitude Rev says, I just wanted to send you a small thank you gift, and it was fairly affordable. I appreciate your commentary and decided to get it as a spur-of-the-moment decision. Roman Holiday is an all-time favorite. Yeah, dude, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Sorry I wasn't more prepared. Like I said, I will be doing a little short later on because I do want to get it opened up and see what it looks like on the inside and everything. But thanks again. Really appreciate it. Marty DMC12. I received my 4K Sleepy Hollow Steelbook from Amazon the other day. Shocked it came in pristine condition, especially when it came in one of those flimsy plastic envelopes. Yeah, that's all they do. I actually ordered something from Amazon recently. This thing. This is, I finally broke down and got the Hanna-Barbera's Superstars 10, like they're the 10 Superstars movies that they did, because I have to watch Scooby-Doo Meets the Brew Brothers with the kids every single year. It's the best, and that's included on here as well as the other 2 80s Scooby-Doo movies. But 10 movies on here, and it was only $55 on Amazon, so I had to grab it. But look at this. Look at Amazon. They just smashed. The corner is all smashed. Such a bummer. Although I wasn't expecting this to be as big as it was. I thought it was just going to be like I didn't know it was going to be 2 5-disc cases. That's actually really cool. So it's not too bad. A little smashed, but I'm glad I finally got that. And we have already watched all 3 of those Scooby-Doo movies with the kids. The kids love Scooby-Doo. I have done my duty, and I've made my kids Scooby-Doo fans as well, because you gotta love Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's the best. Let me see. Brent, I am blind buying Demon Pond 4K this Criterion flash sale. Oh, okay, so we just talked about Demon Pond earlier. I think I'm probably going to do that too, because it's an October flash sale. You got to buy the October titles. They're perfect, and hopefully I can watch that sometime this month. Sneak it into my list. Magnitude Rev says, I will say, though, I was considering tossing in a bonus film into the package, but Amazon didn't let me include items not on your list. Yeah, that's the problem with an Amazon wish list is like I have to add things to my list for people to be able to see it. And I try to add as much stuff as I can in there just in case for people, like as we go through these lists every week. But I mean, I guess you could tell me to add it. That kind of ruins the surprise though. So I don't know if anybody would want to do that. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you sent me a 4K of a really, really good movie. So don't worry about that. You don't have to send me anything else, but I do appreciate it. I really appreciate the thought. Carrie Witt, I did throw a blind buy into my last Arrow sale order, kind of, sort of. I threw in Bird with a Crystal Plumage because I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it, so not totally blind. That's one I've always been interested in. Just, I don't know much about it, though. I know it's a giallo film, so I don't know if I would love it, but maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think of it, Carrie, because I've been tempted to look at that one. I got the steelbook of Get Out/Us from Amazon, and it had dings at the bottom of it. Ugh. That's a huge bummer. We can't even be upset about it because we don't really have any other options, but we can complain to each other, I guess. Marshall, different question, but I'm curious, is there any movie or series you like to watch on Halloween Day, specifically as a tradition? Mine is the animated Castlevania series, just for fun. Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that because it's actually a recent tradition that we've started. If I can get back to my Letterboxd here, I'll show it to you because it's a wonderful movie and it's one of our favorites and we have to watch it every year now. And it's not a horror movie. But it is a movie that takes place on Halloween. It's a very Halloween style movie. And I'll switch this camera over here. It's this. It's Arsenic and Old Lace from Criterion. I should have grabbed it off the shelf for this show, but yeah, it's an incredible movie. It's a comedy. It's like a real dark comedy. I don't even want to spoil it. Maybe don't read the synopsis because it might give away too much, but highly recommend it. It's starring Cary Grant. It's also starring Priscilla. Who's this? Let me see which one this is. It's also starring Priscilla Lane, but she's barely in it, so don't worry about that. But it's basically Cary Grant, and it's I don't want to give too much away. If you know it, if you've seen it, because I think the reason I loved it so much the first time is because I didn't know anything, because it gets really crazy out there. But it is a comedy. It does take place on Halloween, and there's murder, and there's all this, there's a mystery and everything. So highly recommend that one. Very, very funny. Great movie to watch with like a group of friends. We watched it, just Grace and I, the first year. Last year we showed it to some friends. We're probably going to watch it on Halloween again this year. Perfect Halloween movie watch, especially if you don't like horror movies, because it's not a horror movie. It's great. Although it is spooky, which is the perfect thing to watch on Halloween for me. 123 Rock Fan, I bought The Ring on Blu-ray because it was under the bestseller section, but it was a bootleg version. LOL. Yeah. Ooh. Geesh. Sorry about that. Did you get it on Amazon? Weird. Oh, I guess yeah. They sell everything on Amazon, so I'm sure they sell bootlegs. CG, I love Hanna-Barbera. I love Scooby-Doo. I didn't get into any of the other Hanna-Barbera stuff, so I don't know. I never watched Yogi Bear, Flintstones, or Jetsons. So I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'll watch those with the kids, but I don't know how much I'll like them. I don't know if I'm just a Scooby-Doo guy or if I'll like other Hanna-Barbera stuff. Gus says, DJ, I recommend the Gothic Fantastico set from Arrow. Writing this down. A lot of recommendations tonight. I think I have enough spooky movies this month. I think anything else is probably going to have to wait till next year, probably. But thanks. I always appreciate the recommendation. How long have we been talking here? We're at an hour 08. Okay, so we'll talk for about 15 more minutes. Well, we're just going crazy tonight. We're not even on script anymore. We've already made it through the new releases. Thank you guys so much for all the fun conversation. I'm just forgetting that I'm doing a live stream because I'm just talking to you guys about stuff. Internet user, which of the Boo Brothers is your favorite? Oh, man. I mean, you got Shriko. Probably Shriko. Shriko's great. He's the annoying guy, but he's funny. I think I probably have to go with Shriko. Shriko's cool. He's got a green hat. He's got like a silly hat. But I mean, they're all kind of they're not, they're so superfluous to the story. Like they don't even have to be there. But I just love the Boo Brothers because I love like treasure hunts. I'm a simple guy. You give me clues and treasure, and that's all I need. I had this really cool. He wasn't an uncle. He was just like my best friend's dad growing up, and he would do the exact same thing. He would like hide clues all over the house, and there would be like a prize at the end, like something that I don't know what we wanted. We were like 8 or 9 years old. This was right before I moved down here. This was back in Pennsylvania. Dan Junkin. My best friend's name was Wes Junkin, and his dad was the coolest guy. It got me into some movies, got me into fantasy movies, showed me Dragonheart for the first time. I remember we saw Jurassic Park 3 in the theater. I think he got me into like some comic book franchises as well. They were also big Godzilla people, although I didn't get into Godzilla, but I remember they were into Godzilla. There's a lot of cool stuff. And he used to hide all these he would like write clues on the paper and like tear it up and crinkle it and like burn the edges and everything. And it was so fun. It was the coolest thing ever. Loved those days. I hated that I had to move down here at the time. Obviously I like living down here now, but at the time I was real bummed because I had to leave my best friend, and we did all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, this is neither here nor there. I do remember one time though that one of the clues was in the attic, and I would not go in the attic. I was a big baby, so I made Wes go up and get that clue. But no, that was a lot of fun. Anyway, Shriko is my pick, but I think Miko second. Freako's he's the worst. I don't like Freako, but Shriko and Miko they're the best. 123 Rock Fan, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost is my annual October watch. It's a must. I think that just got a Blu-ray, or at least announced as a Blu-ray. So you might need to pick that one up. They've been doing a lot of really cool stuff. Warner Archive Collection. They've been doing a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff. I still haven't picked up Zombie Island. I don't think my kids are quite old enough to pick up Zombie Island or to watch Zombie Island. We can pick it up, but I'm waiting until they can watch it. I think it's going to be another year maybe before I can show it to my son because that one's pretty spooky. And Witch's Ghost is pretty creepy too. That whole era is pretty good. But I prefer the 80s stuff because it's silly and weird and over the top. Carrie, I have the Mystery Machine box set. It's pretty awesome looking up on the shelf. You need that, DJ. I do. I don't own the Blu-rays of Scooby-Doo Where Are You seasons 1 and 2 at all. Like, there's several different ways to own it. There's the big like haunted house box set. There's just the standard slipcover. I'm just kind of holding out. I have it digitally, but I don't. Someone gifted that to me. I think someone just gave me the digital code to that or something at some point. So I have it digitally, so I don't really need it. But at some point, I do want to get that physically. I also have to get the new Scooby-Doo movies because they have that on physical as well on Blu-ray, and I still don't own that. Bailey says, my favorite Scooby-Doo movie growing up was Ghoul School, and then Boo Brothers, and then Witch's Ghost, probably LOL. Ghoul School is a close second. It's right behind Boo Brothers. We watched that one just over the weekend. That was a lot of fun. Although, gosh, Scrappy's rapping is really hard to watch these days. Dan's Den, Son making his cameo appearance. Yeah, it sucks that he always makes cameo appearances when he's like waking up from nightmares and not happy because he's a really cool little dude. Kevin House, I was 7 years old when the original Scooby-Doo TV series premiered in 1969. Yes, I'm that old. Oh, wait, hey, that's no problem. That's awesome. I would have loved to see it when it premiered. I grew up watching Scooby-Doo all the time with my grandma at her house, and still love it to this day. Carrie Witt, Dad Duty Never Ends. No, of course not. Never. But it's always fun and rewarding. Kevin House, hey, can you never have too much Priscilla Lane in a movie? She was so cute. Yeah, she's only in it for like the very beginning, but she's kind of important to the plot, but she's just not in it that much. It's mostly about Cary Grant and his brother and and his aunts, his crazy aunts. Carrie Witt, I always pulled out the Halloween Bugs Bunny episodes, the one with the witch and Gossamer. Interesting. I never got super into Looney Tunes, so I'm not familiar on my Halloween episodes there, but I do like we watch we'll watch the old like Halloween Mickey Mouse stuff like Trick or Treat with Donald Duck, or the Ghost Detectives or the Ghost Hunters. And then we've also watched like that. There's the Popeye Shiver Me Timbers is a great Popeye Halloween episode, or not episode. Those are theatrical shorts, but kind of think of them as episodes these days. What else? What else do we watch that's Halloween? I've got a whole list on Letterboxd. I don't know if I've published it, but yeah, I've been watching some stuff with the kids. We've started. I gave them like a whole stack of Halloween movies to watch last night, and they picked Nightmare Before Christmas. So they watched that last night. I was in and out. I didn't watch the whole thing, but love the look of that movie. It's really cool. Marshall, definitely never seen Arsenic and Old Lace. Then again, I can't recall ever seeing a Cary Grant movie, but I'm down to try it out. Well, do it. Buy the Criterion. The Criterion just came out a couple years ago, and it is an incredible release. It's a beautiful looking transfer and a beautiful box. So check it out. I highly recommend it. It's the purple one. When you go to Barnes & Noble, the big purple case, that is Arsenic and Old Lace. Christopher, are you a fan of any prestige horror like Hereditary, Midsommar, or The Witch? Not from that era, if that's what you mean. I have not seen Hereditary, wasn't crazy about The Witch, and I didn't see Midsommar because that's the same director. Although I was interested in Beau's Afraid. That was the one of his that I was actually interested in, and everyone said it wasn't that great. So I don't know, maybe, but I don't think I'm the target demo for that era, or this era, I guess, the one we're living in for this era of horror movies. Not usually my thing, but I don't know. Maybe I have. I can't think of it right off the bat. Marty DMC, any thoughts on Panasonic coming back to the U.S. with TVs? Whoa, interesting. I didn't hear about this. They've been gone for nearly a decade, and we've loved my home theater aficionados back in the day. Only TVs with filmmaker mode, I believe. Interesting. I have a Panasonic player. Like I have the 4K, the 420, the UB420, but I didn't know they were coming back to make TVs. That's pretty cool. I haven't bought a TV in forever because the last thing I bought was the projector, and we've been like kind of saving our money up for that, and that's what we watch movies on. But yeah, that's pretty cool. If I ever need a new TV, I actually don't have a great TV. We got the TV we got is the Frame TV, the Samsung Frame. It's 4K, but it's not like one of the best ones. We just got it because we wanted it in our living room. We wanted it to look kind of like a picture frame and not actually look like a TV. So it's that one that's like super, super flat. But we don't watch movies up here that often anyway, so it's all right. Ethan, do you visit Pennsylvania occasionally? Not a long time. Last time I visited was when my grandma died in 2015, and I also proposed to Grace at Niagara Falls. and that was the last time I think we visited. So it's been a long time. It's been a while. We used to drive up all the time. Like as a family, we'd always do road trips. It's like a 14, 15-hour trip, but we did it a bunch, hop in the minivan, and all 5 of us would drive up. But yeah, I haven't been in a while. I need to go back. Most of my family still lives up there, so it'd be great to go back and see everybody. Marty, I do know watching yearly tech reviews for AV Panasonic has consistently been reviewed as the best TVs every year, but only available in the UK and Japan. Be great to finally see them back. Wow. Well, you know a lot more about this than me. I've never been a huge tech guy, but I do pay attention to that stuff sometimes because I like to, listen to the people that know what they're talking about on that stuff. Baloney, I hope that Technic's brand comes back with Panasonic. Marty, again, so they're talking back and forth about that. I'm going to let them have their conversation and stop interrupting. Kevin House, I grew up with the Flintstones, the Jetsons, and Yogi Bear, so I really hope you'll like them. However, the original cartoons from the 60s feature the best versions of those characters. Yeah, these are the later movies, so I don't know if they hold up, but we'll see. I'm going to watch them soon. Magnitude says, there's also the Peanuts Halloween vid. Yes, that's another one that we have to watch. Although, I grew up watching the Christmas one. I never watched the pumpkin one, but I know that's a lot of people's favorite. So I'm going to try to get into it. The stuff that I missed growing up, I try to rewatch through my kids' eyes, because you kind of get like a second childhood. That's one of the cool things about being a parent. Kevin House says the Donald Duck short cartoon Trick or Treat is a must-watch this year. Yes, we've already watched that one. There's also one where a later one with like a gorilla that like breaks into their house and attacks them. That's kind of perfect for Halloween as well. We try to watch that one. I can't remember when that one's called. Also, the Mad Doctor Mickey Mouse cartoon is really good. Also, the Haunted House from Mickey Mouse. Those are earlier black and white ones, but those are a lot of fun too. We've actually been watching Casper. Have you guys seen this? We just randomly came across this at a Walmart over the weekend. This is really cool. This is Shout Factory putting out all the original theatrical shorts for Casper and all of the 1963 TV show. So it's actually this is a really cool release. It's DVD. I don't think it'll ever get Blu-ray, but it doesn't matter. DVD is fine for these. But the disc 1 and 2 is the theatrical shorts. So it's got one of those like thin DVD packs. And then disc 3 is the entire 60s show. So you got the 40s shorts and the 60s show. This is actually really cool. I haven't done a video on this or anything, but this was a total surprise. I didn't know they were doing this. It also has like a little booklet that I was reading on Sunday. It's got all this information about Casper. Like I was catching up on my Casper knowledge. It has all the episodes and all the shorts listed in there. This is awesome. I wish Shout Factory would do this more often because all this stuff is public domain. I've had some Casper releases or some Casper shorts in like random DVD mixes that are like public domain stuff, but I've never seen a complete collection like this. This is really cool. I love that, and I hope Shout does more of those because it kind of matches the Popeye sets that I have. I don't think it is the same. Obviously, it's not because those aren't from Shout, but it looks cool. Nice little slipcase there. Thank you, Shout Factory. Me and the kids have been watching through those. Those are fun. They get a little old because it's the exact same plot every single time. It's like he wants to be a good ghost, and the other ghosts kick him out because he's not a scary ghost. And then he goes and finds a random little girl to play with, and then I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's the same thing every single time. So it's basically just a different setting each time. So it's hard to watch a bunch of them in a row. It gets kind of old, but they're charming and they're a lot of fun. And one of them especially takes place on Halloween, where he goes to a little costume party and he can actually be himself. And he meets this other girl who, spoiler alert, at the end takes off her little girl costume and she's another girl ghost, a little girl ghost. So this is adorable. This is sweet. That's a very fun one. Might have to put that one into our Halloween rotation. Ethan Edwards says Abbott and Costello and Bob Hope both had many horror comedies that are kid-friendly. Yeah, I've heard about those. They did like a lot of Universal Monster, like, I don't want to say rip-offs, but like spoofs, I guess. And I've heard those are fun. The only Abbott and Costello I've shown the kids is the Jack and the Beanstalk one. And my daughter really liked that one. So, but she just likes Jack and the Beanstalk in general. She likes Jack the Giant Killer from the 50s, the British, like, kind of Harryhausen-esque adventure movie, which is really weird, but she really liked it. Bailey Walsh, Trick or Treat. Oh yes, she's just singing the song. Great. It's an earworm. I think it's in your head. It's almost as catchy as Pogo Stick, the other Donald short. 123 Rock Fan DJ, I noticed you really dislike Deadpool and Young Frankenstein. Oh wow, he's calling me out. Is it the type of zaniness that you dislike or the vulgar humor or both? LOL. No, Deadpool I just thought was super generic. Like it was just the most. It just felt like a 2002, 2003 superhero movie, and like everyone gave it a pass because it was like raunchy. Like I don't know. I found nothing. The raunchy humor didn't do anything for me, so the rest of the plot was just like so thin, and I didn't buy them as a couple at all, and it was like just this really generic love story in a superhero, like a early 2000s superhero movie. So yeah, it was I don't know. I don't even know what I rated it. You said I really didn't like it. I probably gave it like I must have given it a low score. No, I just didn't. It just wasn't for me. Carrie Witt, I love Hereditary and Midsommar, but it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. That being said, I did not like Bo very much at all. Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear everyone likes his first two and they don't like his third one. So maybe I'll like it. I don't know. Henry says, good evening, everyone. I ordered the Capra Mega Set at Amazon for $153. Amazing deal. Yeah, I saw that. $153 for 20 films. I think most of them are 4K. Are they all 4K? I can't remember. But yeah, it looks like an amazing box set. That's another one of those big box sets that is coming out that I need to save up for. I don't know. The Bellatar one's coming out. I don't know which one I'm going to get. But yeah, it's an amazing deal. It'd be stupid not to buy that one because 20 films is a really good deal. 123 Rock Fan. Everyone says how disturbing and scary Hereditary is, but I view it as a dark comedy. Ooh. Yeesh. I've heard things about that one. I haven't seen it, but I've heard things that happen in it. Kevin House, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown is an all-time great special with especially great background art. Dan's Den, the second Casper short where he befriends a fox genuinely made me cry. Yeah, that's one thing. I guess I should, no one is going to care about this, but there's one weird thing about this because Casper was originally created, or he was like thought up at Fleischer Studios, and then the first short came out from Famous Studios. So the first three shorts are from a different studio, and then later Harvey gets the rights, and they start making them. So if you just put this in and hit play all, the first three shorts are actually a special feature. They're not in the list of episodes. So if you just hit play all and don't even look at the episode by episode, it just starts with number 4. Which is like an undersea episode. It's short. It's really weird. So make sure you go and watch the first 3. I don't like how they did that. It should have been easier to find out. But you have to go into the special features and then watch the first 3 and then go back and you can hit play all or just go to the episodes and watch the rest. Because that was really weird. I was like, what? Why is it starting with this one? Because I had seen the first one before. I just didn't know all that stuff about the studios. Marshall, I know you've mentioned Criterion a few times, and I'm slowly starting to collect them since that last Barnes & Noble sale, but I'm curious, are there any personal favorite films you'd love in collection? Are there any personal favorite films you'd love in the collection? So you're saying Criterion, or films that aren't in the Criterion collection that I would like in the Criterion collection? Well, I have a list that's all about that, and I think it's public on my Letterboxd. If it's not, I need to make it public, but I think it is. But yeah, there's a few. There's a few. I don't know if I can rattle them off all right now, but I do have a list. So, and that will be a good video at some point. Maybe I should do that. Kyle Hartman pops in. He's talking about all the releases he picked up already. Sweet. Got a lot of the 4Ks from this week. Oh, you got Murder on the Orient Express. Really cool. That's one that Grace wants. Because it's got Maggie Smith in it, and she has been mourning her death recently. And actually, she wanted to see it even before she passed away because she just really likes Harry Potter. Internet user, have you seen the Casper film from the 90s? Yes, I did see that. I think it freaked me out when I saw it for the first time because I was very young. I think I was like, I don't remember how old I was. But yeah, that's a good one. I don't think it has a Blu-ray. Maybe it has a Blu-ray. I know it doesn't have a 4K. But yeah, that's the one I have to pick up at some point. Show the kids when they're a little bit older. They're still a little young right now. What else? Kevin House, I have that Casper set, although I haven't watched much of it. It's a cool set. It's pretty cool. All right, the time is getting away from us. It's already 1:25, so we got about 5 minutes left. Any last minute questions? I'm going to try to speed through the rest of this here. But thank you guys so much. It's been a fun evening. We've been talking about a lot of cool spooky stuff, and I've been having a good time. And the time is flying. I don't know how it's been an hour and a half already. What else? Brent, I'm in the minority. I mostly liked Beau is Afraid, though, like most of Astor's films, it loses its way in the third act. Interesting. Well, we got some similar tastes, Brent, so I might like it. I might have to check that one out eventually. Actually, it would have been a good month to do it. I could have watched it this month. But my list is already too full. By the way, definitely going to rewatch Arsenic and Old Lace now. Looking forward to it. Well, I hope you enjoy it. It's a really fun one. Don't watch it with other people if you can, because it's really fun to laugh with other people when you watch it. Kevin House, you'll want to start with Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. It's very highly regarded. Yeah, I've heard about that one. And I think they did a Wolfman one, and I think they've done several. Marty, there's the Capra set, plus that new Hitchcock Blu-ray set with most of his early silent films from his British years. Sadly, Region B only. I saw that one. There's several Hitchcock sets coming out in the UK, like all at the same time. But yeah, that one was like most of his early stuff, which is very exciting to see those on Blu-ray. And I think that's safe. I don't think those will ever get 4K releases. But there's so much stuff coming out. There's that Eureka Serials box set. There's a couple box sets from Radiance coming out that I really want. It's nuts. 123 Rock fan. I saw the 1905 Casper with my grandma when I was 7, and one of my first memories was her ranting about a kids movie using the B word. That's amazing. That's totally the kind of household I grew up in too. It's like that was all they focused on. It's like like I think what else has that? Princess Bride has that too. Because the kid says Jesus at one point. I was like, oh. And I remember as a kid being the same way. I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be watching this. I don't remember that in Casper, but I remember it being like, I feel like there's this weird thing in the 90s where there's like a lot of movies that I want to show my kids, but they're really dark. There's like some really dark bits in it, but then the rest of the movie around it is kind of like super cheesy. So like, I don't want to show it to them too early because of that dark stuff. But they're not going to be into it if I wait much longer because it's too silly. So I don't know. There's this weird tonal issue in the 90s where things are like, wow, that was in there. Like you're surprised by stuff, but then also like, God, it's just kind of cheesy and doesn't hold up. So it was weird. It's a weird time. It's hard navigating that as a parent these days when you're trying to go back and show them stuff that you watched as a kid. Let me see. Some 8. Do you think Criterion Blu-ray quality compares to 4K discs? Sometimes, I think. I'm not the person to ask about that, but I feel like sometimes people commend the Blu-ray discs for being as good as some other 4Ks, but I think it's very case by case. I know a lot of people complain about Criterion's encoding on their discs. It's not the best, but I think it all just depends on which ones. I don't think there's a solid answer that goes across the board, but I've been very happy with their Blu-ray discs. I have like a 4K projector that kind of upscales a little bit, and I'm using the Panasonic player, so everything looks great to me. I'm not too super picky about what it looks like, but I do notice a difference in the 4Ks that I've got though. Baloney, my coffee is empty, but most of the stuff I watch is like super old anyway, so it's not like silent films aren't going to look perfect on 4K, but they do the best they can. Baloney, my coffee is empty. My munchies are gone. I'm feeling tired and starting to yawn. Good. Thank you for opening and closing us with a little ode to Dr. Seuss. Good night to all. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. We got one last minute here. I think I can make it through the last couple questions here. Marshall, had a great time. Thank you. Everyone's just saying goodbye. This is great. My apologies for my somewhat scattered questions. I'm just trying to learn and explore different films out there. Well, good. That's what I want this to be. I want this to be a fun place where we can, a little community, where we can talk about stuff. That's all I want it to be. Hopefully it's helpful. A lot of just scattered thoughts and me just rambling, but hopefully you find something useful. Brent says, for Noirvember, I picked up Fritz Lang's The Woman in the Window as a blind buy. Have you seen it? It looks really good. I have not seen The Woman in the Window, but I do have several Fritz Lang films. I know there's I actually made a letterbox list. Maybe I can pull this up. Maybe I can close on this as a little tease. But I made a letterbox list recently. It's not public yet, but I will switch it on here sometime this month because I made a list of my entire film noir collection. Let me pop over here. We'll do this. Good question, Brent. So this is I have a lot of Blu-rays back there, mostly Blu-rays. I don't think I have any 4Ks. But yeah, this is all the film noirs that I own on Blu-ray. It's about 50. It's a little over 56, 57, something like that. And there might be more. This is just a rough list that I made. And we're not going to get through all of these next month, obviously. And I've seen some of them already, but we're going to try to get through as many as we can. I had a lot more than I thought I did. So Hopefully we can knock out a bunch of those next month. Hopefully you guys join us for Noirvember. This is my first time participating. I've never done it, but it seems like fun. Maybe we'll revisit the old Noir Bar book up there that has some really cool recipes that kind of go with noir movies. That it's really cool. It's a book from TCM. We did one episode of Noir Bar on the channel, and then we never did it again. So hopefully we can do that this month. It'll be a lot of fun in November. Although that's Criterion too. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a very busy November. Let me see. What else are people saying? Bailey Walsh, I would just show them the movie unless you think they're really going to notice it. It's surprising as an adult to rewatch certain children's movies because dark stuff went over your head as a kid. Oh yeah, for sure. Unless like you were like me where I was raised to notice all that stuff, and that's the stuff that jumped out at me, especially language. Marshall is talking to Carrie. Dan Sten says the woman in the window is good. And Magnitude Rev, we'll close with this. You should make a video on your favorite releases in the Criterion Collection. I absolutely will. Actually, thank you for reminding me. I need to do a post. I'm going to do a post sometime this week because in November, I want to finally start doing recommendation videos. People ask for them all the time. Most of the other channels do it. I don't know why I can't do it. I need to get on the bandwagon and start doing some recommendation videos in November for people that are going to the sale and they want some recs. So I want to do that. I don't know if I want to just do favorites. I kind of want like a specific genre to do, like categories or something. So I'll put a post out and get some ideas from you guys of specific categories I can do recs in, maybe like 5 films in a category. Just a nice, I don't want the videos to get too long. So I just want to talk about like 5 films in this category, 5 films in this category, all different Criterion recs so people can get some ideas when they're shopping for sales in November. So thanks for that reminder. I will try to get that out soon. Yes, Return to Oz is another dark film for kids. A good oh, my daughter loves it though. She's only 4, but we watched it last year. It actually freaks my son out a little bit, but my daughter loves it. She loves Mombi. She loves the Wheelers. She loves Dorothy in general. She loves, like, the first movie is her favorite movie ever, and she loves the sequel. So we will definitely be watching Return to Oz this year, and hopefully we can get to that soon. Anyway, let us wrap up this video here. Thank you guys. Everyone's saying goodbye in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's a really fun night. I feel like it's been a while since we've done this, but it hasn't. We did this last week. I don't know why it feels, I don't know. I miss it. It's only 7 days, but it feels like a long time. Anyway, wrapping it up here. See you guys next week for talking about for some more new releases. I think there's actually a lot of stuff coming out next week. Speaking of Deadpool, that movie's coming out next week, and a bunch of other new stuff. So we'll get to that next week. Keep enjoying those spooky movies. If you're watching along with me, I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can, so I can do a wrap-up video at the end of the month and talk more about what I've been watching, because I've been enjoying pretty much everything I've seen so far. There hasn't been any duds so far, so I'm very happy about that. I'm still looking forward to checking out Quite On. I did watch The Uninvited. Haven't talked about that anywhere yet. I could have talked about that tonight, but we had a lot of stuff to talk about. Also got to watch Eyes Without a Face. So much stuff to watch. So stay tuned for the end of the month. That wrap-up video will be coming. Then, of course, we've got November stuff, noir stuff, Criterion stuff. All kinds of stuff coming out soon, starting with that Blu-ray hunting video with Grace. That'll be coming out tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching the replay after the fact, let me know in the comments what you're most looking forward to, and I'll talk to you in the comments down there. Thanks again. Until next time, keep collecting, and we'll be back with another one real soon.